Kesavananda Bharati was the chief of Ednir Mutt, a religious institution located in Kerala. Bharati had some land in the Mutt which he owned. The Kerala state government passed the Land Reforms Amendment Act in 1969. As per this act, the government could acquire some of the lands that belonged to the Mutt. In March 1970, Bharati moved the Supreme Court to enforce the rights that were guaranteed to him under Article 14, 19, 25, 26 and 31. The issues involved were the validity of 24th and 25th Amendment of the Constitution and the extent to which Parliament can amend the Constitution. The landmark judgment was delivered on 24th April 1973 by a majority of 7:6, wherein the majority held that any provision of the Indian Constitution can be amended by the Parliament in order to fulfill its socio-economic obligations that were guaranteed to the citizens as given in the preamble, provided that such amendments does not change the Constitution's basic structure. The court held the 24th Constitutional Amendment was entirely valid, but it found that first part of the 25th Constitutional Amendment to be intra-vires and the second part of the same ultra-vires. The court also laid down the doctrine of basic structure. It states that the Parliament has limitless power to amend the Constitution, subject to the condition that such amendments should not change the Constitution's basic structure. The bench did not mention the basic structure of the Constitution, and it was left to the interpretation of the courts. This was subsequently laid down in several other judgments by the Supreme Court. The court contended that the term amend mentioned in Article 368 does not imply amendments that can alter the Constitution's basic structure. If the Parliament intends to make any amendment with respect to a constitutional provision, such an amendment would necessarily have to undergo the basic structure test. Kesavananda Bharati vs. State of Kerala is certainly one of the leading cases in the constitutional history of India. This landmark case has given our constitution stability. The Supreme Court ruling turned out to be a savior for Indian democracy and also prevented the constitution from losing its spirit.